Hello and welcome back to the Minetrek.net game server. This will be an update for the Enterprise D build. Currently, I think this is like episode 89. It's been a while since the last episode. A lot's been going on the server. A lot of updates for the server. The server now has a new resource pack. And when you join the server, you'll have the option to download the pack. You'll have to set that up, of course, in your own settings before you join the server. But let me show you here real quick what's going on. We spent a lot of time reworking the saucer, just going through, fixing some details, adding in some neat things and stuff like that. So we'll go through here. You should jump on the server because they've been working on some discovery projects way over there. You can grab the Dynamap link in the description below and see. They've been working on the Discovery TOS Enterprise. On a bunch of ships from the Discovery area. I have to say, I've just watched the Discovery series off the CBS On Demand, and I'm very impressed with it. I really like the series. I think they did a really good job. My only two complaints were the way the Klingons looked and the Klingon ships. Everything else I loved. I watched it twice, and I really enjoyed it. So, anywho, let me go ahead and jump out of spectator mode here and drop down. As you can see, nothing really has changed much on the bridge module, but let us go ahead and pop on down here, and you will see the moment we get down here the new blocks. They have a lot better texturing to them, a lot more pop to them, and everything else. We've gone ahead and gotten rid of the solid black block that usually is through here, and I believe it was Shadow Appler, M. Heller, and a couple other folks. I could be wrong, could just be Shadow Appler and M. Heller that designed these new blocks. They work really well. They're flowing really nice. We're in the process of now updating the saucer as well as the drive section to these new blocks. So run down through here and I can show you pretty quick. We'll work our way on down because I don't particularly feel like doing spectator mode because the ship is so beautiful. I mean, it's really one of those ships you just got to walk around and just enjoy and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and go back up here, and we'll grab the gangway and work our way down to one of the other decks that has some Jeffries tubes, and I'll show you some of the new Jeffries tubes and stuff. I'm not sure why we have diamond plate here, black diamond plate, but what the hell. Go ahead and use that. That fits. Jump in here real quick, and this has all been filled in. All the equipment stuff, all the empty system bays and things like that have all been filled, and throughout the entire saucer. And like I said, I'm now starting on the next section of the drive hall. I think I'm on deck 11 or 12 of the drive hall now. So go ahead and close that. This shouldn't be open. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. We'll go down this one here. Anyways, come through here, and you can see this is still the old style. It has not been updated yet. We're still working on it, but we will get it updated. And we'll come through here, and here's one of the first Jeffries tubes. All the Jeffries tubes are now in the ship up to this point here. Now we can go up, and we come back into this area we were just in, or we come down into this area here. I went ahead and ripped out all that nasty shit that was in here that a former contributor placed in here. It was just nasty, so I went ahead and ripped it all out and redid it here. This design is actually based off of the design that Shadow Appler originally came up with for his Luminosity B, but since he has new blocks to play with, new resource pack to play with, he's completely reworking his entire Jeffries tube system. So yeah, but we can't adopt the new system because the Enterprise D has a darker, more mechanical look to it, whereas the Luminosity B is a sovereign class. It has a much nicer, more lighter look to it, given that Nemesis and all those showed us what those look like. And as we come down through here, you can see all of these are now in all the way back, and we keep on going down if we like. And a lot of these rooms here, they will probably have additional machinery added to them over time, but I did not add anything in here right now because the room itself is filled in, and I didn't see any reason to go through and redo anything. Little access space up here. If we go through here, we'll be exiting out into the computer core. And here's the top of the computer right here. Come through here, and we'll go through one of the narrow ones. Now, when we come into areas like this here, we went ahead and just left it double spaced like this, just because it's just a little bit more convenient than trying to fit, the other system in here. Especially if there might be a turbo shaft here, or here it is over here, or things like that. And it kind of gets in the way, so we had to sometimes have to make compromises and things like that. Also, if we come forward here, this is deck 5, the top of the atrium, and of course deck 12 down here. is the bottom of the atrium, and I don't recall because it's been a long time since I've done a video, but we went ahead and redesigned Sickbay. Beforehand, this area here was like it was up here. It just would sweep all the way around and then hit a wall. Let's get out of the bushes here. The Better Foliage mod is an awesome mod. Anyways, come down through here, and we'll go ahead and step into Sickbay here, and you can see right off the bat it's a little bit more feel of the actual Sickbay design that's in the show, but with, you know, slightly, you know, Minecrafty look to it. We come around here, we have like a little area here, and this is where it departs from the actual show and stuff. I would also like to note that Ed Whitefire has released his new full-color version of his Enterprise D deck plans. I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the description below where you can contact Ed Whitefire via Gmail. I believe they're $55, and their poster size, they are absolutely stunning. I wish I could include some images of them here, but again, it's a copyright issue, and I don't want to infringe on Ed's copyright in any way, shape, or form. But technically, let's just say that as a technical, looking at them technically, they are absolutely stunning, stunning blueprints. So M. Heller really loves the Aztecing on them. I just, you know, I can't wait to place my own order. I'm waiting, you know, till M. Heller says, yeah, these things are awesome, completely awesome. She's already done that, so I'm going to place my order as soon as possible, and hopefully, you know, I'll have my own set. But the thing with me is, if I order them, they'll probably end up staying in the package until I have a space for them, because I want to, you know, look at them and stuff, and I really don't have the room to open up a big poster thing. But from what I've seen of them, they are absolutely stunning, and I cannot wait to get them myself. So yeah, jump on them before they're all sold out. Anyway, so as we work our way through the Sickbay here, you can see that a lot of the stuff here hasn't been filled in yet, because this is more carpeting, and or not carpeting, but more you know, unique fill-in stuff for people to do. Like, oh, I'm really into Sickbay, and they'll come in and they'll set it up and things like that. So my main worry for this was updating and making sure that the doors for the bathrooms are the correct doors, that the that all of the system stuff was placed in, all the system room stuff was placed in, and all of the Jeffrey tubes were added as well. This is a medical transporter, another medical transporter. Basically, what a medical transporter is it has biofilters, and it can transport large, like medical beds and things like that with more precision. These actually use a lot more power to transport, because the quality of the buffers are far greater than the standard ones, because they have to, you know, be biofilters and things like that, and people that are injured and all that kind of stuff, they need better care, so they have better transporters. Come back here, make sure we have the doors. Yep, we got doors. And then we have another medical wing here, and then of course one on the other side as well. Now if you go to the Dynamap and you look on the lower right hand corner of the Dynamap, you will see the deck slices for the saucer and part of the drive hull laid out for viewing. And the reason we're doing that is because, you know, people keep getting lost in the ship and they want to be able to see their way through it. And it just sort of helps, you know, that kind of a thing. But it'll be sorted out so people will be able to actually just, you know, see the whole ship. But right now, parts overlay other parts, because we're still in the process of getting all the overlays and stuff like that out of the ship and set over there. And I do that as I work on the decks. So we're going to go ahead and enter the turbolift here. And since I've only gone through the saucer section down to, I believe, deck 11 on the drive hull, those are the only parts that are out. The full deck slices for the saucer are over there, but I'm still working on completing everything else. So, yeah. All right, I don't recall what deck this is. Could probably be deck 10 or so, maybe deck 9. We will find out. Oh, another turbolift. We don't need to go in the turbolift. Anyways, come around here. I'm looking for a nice Jeffries tube to look at. But yeah, it took a long time to fill in all the material. Yep, we're on the bottom of the deflector bay. Took a long time to fill in all the details. Come on, let me fly. There we go. Fill in all the details for the saucer. Almost 5 months, I would say. But yeah, whoops. We get these occasionally where they'll do that, and it's kind of a pain in the ass, but you know, what can you do? See, it'll just do it again. So what I usually do when I run into this is I just grab this one right here and I just go like this, and that just solves the problem for me. But come down through here, all of this through here has been laid in, and everything else, all the details as far as I can tell are in. I may have missed a few things, But and coming into the phaser strip area here, you can see that it's all been laid in as well. This is the lower phaser strip. The upper phaser strip's even, you know, it's reverse of this, but it's kind of neat looking to look at. So we'll buzz on into spectator mode here and just kind of look around. I'm setting up, starting to do the Aztecing on the hull itself. So she has the patterns for the Aztec above the ship. If you look on the Dynamap, you'll see like this funky thing. Well, that's just the Aztecing pattern. So, but come down through here, you can see everything is still here. We've been cleaning up a little bit, but not too much. But again, for the last few months, it's just been basically pulling out the deck slices. I think the last video, one of the videos I was working with, like on deck 5 or 6 or something like that. Anyways, all the decks have now been done for the saucer. Again, we got to go back through it and update them to the new resource pack blocks, but you know, nothing too bad there. We can do that pretty easily. It just takes time. Come through here, you can see that all the Aztecing for the underside of this has been done as well for the clamshell. And I'm working my way over here to the drive hull, and you can see this is the deck I'm currently working on the drive hull. It's nearly complete. I just have some system rooms to fill in or double check and things like that. Mainly little nooks like this have to be filled in. See where the gray is? That's actually part of where the wall's supposed to go. This here is a latch, obviously, so we don't want to fill that in. That space needs to be in. And everything else. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have left to do on this deck. And what deck is this? This is, looks like it's deck 12. Yep, deck 12. So currently working on deck 12 on the drive hull. And she's coming along pretty good. I've ran into a few problems a few months back, or maybe a year ago or so. Let's go ahead and zip on up here to the top of the ship yaw. We keep running into problems where somebody keeps, I don't know how they're doing it or why they're doing it, but when we come down through here, go forward here, down, actually want to go up and out. Come on, let me do it. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead back into actual mode. This section right here, somebody keeps copying the starboard side over the port side and keeps screwing this whole area up. And I spent a better part of a week going through the sections here, setting this section up originally, you know, adding in all the machinery and stuff like that. And then I left it and started working on the saucer. And when I came back to start doing this, the laying in the Jeffries tubes and stuff for this section, I noticed that somebody had done it again. Now, the last time the issue was it was multiple decks, and again it was multiple decks, but you know, it was just really frustrating to come back and find this whole area all screwed up again. So I mean, it's like this whole top layer was just copy paste from the other side to this side. It was just very annoying to have to redo that. And then there were a couple areas down below that had the same thing done to them, and I had to go back through each deck and extremely well, I want to say with extreme thoroughness and double check everything. And I found quite a few errors because of copy pasting from port to starboard or starboard to port, which I didn't do. So it was all this stuff was done after I had walked away from this section after having it all set up. And I went back through and watched some of my videos, and I can clearly see, you know, hey, this is where the condition of this was. I didn't work on it anymore, and I went over to the saucer. In the saucer, as I was going through the saucer section, I kept finding where people had copied and pasted from starboard to port after I'd done it, because you know there are differences on the starboard and port sides, and in much case through the center of the ship. And I'd go through that, and I was pulling my hair out. I was having to go back to my copies on my off server world and pull those sections out and import them back into Minecraft, and then load them into the ship, because somebody kept screwing me up. And I think we know who it was, and I think that they thought they were helping, but who knows what the actual motivation was. It was obviously a bonehead move to do, and I don't think it was done intentionally. I just think it was just somebody not realizing what it was they were doing and just assumed. And you can't make assumptions on ships these big, because you screw everything up. And that's why it's so important to only have one person working on details like that, not having like 30 or 40 people, because yeah, even 2 or 3 people can really start getting things messed up. Because what happens is you start seeing degradation in design quality. We really noticed it with the pillars. We found that out hardcore on the saucer section with the pillars, because I'd go through the decks and somebody had laid in pillars and none of them were aligned correctly. And you know me, I like to keep this stuff as aligned as possible. Also, good news is M's working really hard and working with a couple of folks about coming up with a modded server. So Minetrek might go modded, and the reason for that is it gives us far more specific controls over things like we'll have way more blocks, we'll have better resource packs, and if you go into the Discord, you'll see in the Discord there's a person working on with him for a modded server, which actually has opening and closing doors. The pillars, like you see here, won't be this thick. They'll be actually look just like they do in the show. There'll be a thin line right down through there, and everything else. It'll require a huge amount of rework time for a modded version of the Enterprise D, but it would be so worth it because the ship would look so much better with those, without these big thick pillars here. But again, we're limited with Minecraft. You know, Minecraft has these 1 meter thick, you know, things, and that's the way we have to do it. And we only have so many blocks we can use in a resource pack because the game only has so many blocks. So if we want to further the, you know, the experience, we have to go modded, and that's the way M's looking at it. Now, in the past, we've not decided. We decided against going modded because modded is, well, if the mods aren't updated, you're married to that version, period. If you try to go away from that version, you could lose a lot of your details or corrupt your world. So, as it is, you know, for the most part, we've shunned away from modded. But now M wants to actually make the mods that we're going to be using for this server, i.e. more blocks, some more customized blocks, again, with opening and sliding doors and things like that, and very detailed blocks for building inside the ship. It'll be very intricate work, but, you know, not so bad, but it's interesting. Anyways, there's a video. There's a video on the Discord channel showing off some of this stuff, and I'll also have a link to it in the description below that you can take a look at if you're interested and things like that. So, yeah, it's kind of neat. It's very neat to see that stuff coming. I don't know what her plans are as far as keeping 2 servers going. I do know when she does run 2 servers, it seems like the servers are struggling or competing against each other for resources. So I don't know if she'll actually have a second system up and running that will utilize it, or she will just probably run 2 servers on the same system, in which case I don't know how it'll work, but we will find out. So keeping our fingers crossed anyways. Come through here, and we'll exit back out through the back here, and look around. Anyways, here's one of the aft phaser strips. I went ahead and half-slabbed this and then dropped it down so you could actually get on and work on the phaser itself. Otherwise, you're running into the hull, and I like to cover up the hull as much as possible. That way they're not like, oh, it's the hull, you know, that kind of a thing. There's a lot of detail. When you pull these deck slices out, you start seeing where the conduits are routed and things like that. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. Swing back around here like so. And get ready to wrap up this video. There's an office. I'm looking for the battle bridge. I believe it's this way. It might not even be on this deck. Actually, it is on this deck, but I know it's around here somewhere. It's around here somewhere. I know it is. Zip up through. Yep, there it is, right up ahead of us. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and call the video here. And again, thanks for watching. This is the Minetrek.net game server. Please hit that like button for us. It really does help out. And also, if you'd like to join the server, feel free to join. It's a free-to-play server. Just come on in and check it out. Of course, download the resource pack when prompted, or talk to us, go to the forums, download it, and just stick it in your resource pack folder. Also, if you'd like to donate to the server, there's a link in the description to donate to the server. Please do so. We're almost to our goal. We're trying to hit 1,000. And if we want to keep these builds going, we definitely need support, obviously, moving forward. So please feel free to donate to the Minetrek.net game server. Also, like us on Facebook and share us too. Awesome. Anyways, thanks for watching and have a great day. Oh, by the way, just for reference, today is March 14th, 2018. Yippee skippy.